Go ahead and get started with the Joby Wells hearing while we're waiting on some other attorneys, Mr. Rojas and Mr. Nichols. I know there's a witness that might be coming in a few minutes, but there's one here and we're waiting, so let's get started. This is cause numbers 19-31266 and 31267. All right, Mr. Nichols is present. Mr. Rojas, you're present with Sir Joby Wells. And Mr. Wells was previously in court. Let me pull this up real quick. Hold on. Has two motions to revoke unadjudicated probation on probation in each of those cases for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Let's see.
Wait a minute. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And this guy's already on probation. This isn't some petty crime. We're talking a first-degree felony here. He could be looking at anywhere from 5 to 99 years if it goes badly for him. Now, the judge has confirmed he admitted to multiple violations. This situation is about to get really serious.
I've received an updated pre-sentence report as well as some jail incident reports that everyone should have been given copies of. Has everyone received all of that?
We have. Yes, Your Honor, we have.
And these cases are both, I want to make sure I said it right, they're aggravated assault, family violence. They're both first-degree felonies, deferred probations.
That's
and
not correct, Your Honor.
It's not?
One is a non-family violence, and one is a second-degree family violence.
Okay, so in that motion, was that wrong then? It's aggravated on?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Ross and I actually double-checked this morning.
Okay.
Under the code and under indictment and under the original plea agreement.
Both of them are second degrees, 2 to 20 range. There was no agreement. And does anyone have any additions or corrections to that pre-sentence report?
Nothing.
Here's a quick legal tip. When the court mentions a pre-sentence report, they mean a comprehensive background check. It includes everything: past charges, time served, and even the person's behavior while incarcerated. And in Wells' case, things aren't looking good. Keep an eye on this report because it could heavily influence what happens next in his case.
Mr. Rojas, does the state have witnesses with regard to those other counts?
Yeah, they do, Your Honor.
I'm sorry? Oh, did I say Mr. Rojas? Mr. Nichols, does the state have? Thank you.
Your Honor.
You may call your first witness.
They called Officer Stevenson.
Good morning, sir. If you'll please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, sir. You can have a seat.
And how are you employed, sir?
Sorry?
How are you employed?
A police officer in the police department.
How long have you worked for Beaumont Police?
Approximately 15 months.
And during that time, have you worked on patrol?
Yes, sir.
When did you complete the field training and all that?
December 15th.
2024?
Yes, sir.
And so during the month of April of 2024, what were your job duties? What were you doing for Beaumont Police?
I was on patrol. I was in the FGO phase. I was in phase 2.
And who was your supervisor or training officer?
Officer Simpson.
Okay, and did y'all have reason to respond to a call in the early hours of April 13th, 2024 in the city of Beaumont?
Yes, sir.
So what was the nature of the call?
A lady called and said that her ex-boyfriend was harassing her.
And when y'all arrived on Main Street, what did you encounter? What did you find?
There was a white male matching the description that she'd given dispatchers, and we made contact with him.
About what time of the morning was this? Do you remember? 2 a.m.?
Yes, sir.
This individual you encountered, was he wearing anything unusual?
He was described as wearing all black clothing, and that's what this individual was wearing.
Did you identify him?
Yes, sir.
And what was his name?
Joby Wells.
When you encountered Mr. Wells, did he explain what he was doing in the street on Maida?
I believe so.
What did he tell you?
He said he was there to talk to this lady, the complainant.
Did it seem unusual to you that he was in that area at that time?
Not at the time. I'd never met him before.
As y'all investigated, what did you find out?
Excuse me. He was her ex-boyfriend, and he had allegedly called her numerous
Objection
times.
here, say, Your Honor.
Overruled. Go ahead.
Did you, and she reported that he had been calling her multiple times, is that correct?
Yeah,
Did you verify that anyway?
I did.
How'd you do that?
He gave us permission to view his phone logs, and he had made several calls to her phone, and hers also showed many calls.
So he allowed you to view his calls?
Yes, sir.
And you recall about how many calls he made to her number?
Approximately 41, I believe.
All that's
41 calls in a single night. That's not just excessive. That's the kind of behavior that can quickly land someone a restraining order. And using multiple numbers, including blocked ones, that's not love, it's harassment. The officer may sound calm, but make no mistake, the consequences here could be severe.
I believe they might have started the day before.
okay. But about 40 within one day, is that accurate?
Yes.
And was there a certain number that he called her from?
He called her from his registered number, and then was believed that some calls came from numbers that weren't necessarily.
Objection, speculation, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Go ahead, officer. When you reviewed her phone, what did it appear the numbers came from?
Many of the calls said no caller ID, I believe, but some came from his.
Okay. And you yourself viewed the call logs on her phone, as we see here, and you also viewed his call logs indicating that he had made those phone calls. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Officer Stevens. I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Nichols. Mr. Rojas?
When you looked at these call logs, did you see, there's a way on the phone to see if phones are incoming or they're outgoing, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you take a look at the phone to see how many calls were actually outgoing from his phone or outgoing from her phone?
Defense is raising reasonable doubt, with the lawyer challenging the timeline, casting uncertainty on the call records, and suggesting both parties were communicating. It's a textbook defense move, but here's the key point. The officer appears uncertain about the details. That hesitation could be exactly what the defense needs to undermine the case.
I don't recall.
Okay. So there could have been some from her to him that you don't recall, those are there.
There could have been.
Okay. So there's a lot of this could have been back and forth, him texting her and her texting back to him, things like that.
It could have been.
Okay. Or calling each other back and forth. Did anybody, once you got back to the police station, did anybody go back through his phone? I assume you took his phone into evidence?
I believe so.
Do you know of anybody back at the police station went back and looked at his phone to verify how many calls were coming from his phone, or how many calls were going from his phone to hers, and how many calls were coming from her phone to his?
I don't know if that happened.
Okay. If it happened, you didn't do it. Correct. Okay. Did you count the number of, you mentioned earlier that somebody had, I think the number you said was 41 calls? Approximately. Was that on his phone or her phone?
Her phone.
Did you go back and count the number of calls on his phone?
I don't recall.
Okay. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Rojas. Any other witnesses?
No, you're saying right.
Mr. Rojas, any witnesses?
No, you're
Okay, so then with regard to counts, well, let's see, we've got count 1. I am going to find that there was sufficient evidence based on the testimony of the officer as well as his body cam to find count 1 true. I am going to find count 2, find that there was sufficient evidence based on Ms. Lopez's testimony as well as that of the officer and his body cam, that count 2 is also true. Count 5 true. Count 3, 4, and 6 were true, pleased by Mr. Wells. So at this time, all counts are true. Mr. Rojas, I will let you go forward with argument.
Judge, Mr. Wells would like another chance on probation, Judge. As Mr. Nichols pointed out, he was here previously on a prior motion to revoke for the family assault. At that point,
hang on just a second. Would y'all take that down? I want to make sure that it's easier for Ms. Tanner if we're back up there also. Make sure that it's working right. Yep. Okay, go ahead, Lauren.
Let's say that he was in for the previous motion to revoke, as Mr. Nichols pointed out. At that point, 100-day sanctions were ordered. I don't know if it was at that point or another point, but at some point he was ordered to go to ISF. He was placed in holding at the county jail, and for whatever reason, I guess the bed never opened up, and he was released. So he never got the benefit of ISF. And from what I can see, the reason for going, it was going to be the cognitive track. The reason for going to ISF was so that he could make better life decisions on who to hang out with, how to deal with these personal situations. He never got the benefit of ISF, and it's not through any fault of his own. It just, I'm assuming a bed never opened up because he was sitting in jail waiting to go. I just don't think it's right to punish him for us not getting him the help that we were trying to get him last time. He's telling me that if he were released on probation, he has a job set up in Midland to go work in the oil fields. His uncle is a supervisor at the oil field. I think there's some classes or some training he needs to go through in order to get a license. Once he gets that license, his uncle is going to give him that job. Of course, if you were to let him stay on probation, you have to go to ISF first, get all that taken care of, and then go to Midland. But I think that probably would be to his benefit to get away from the people around here and get a fresh start over in a different environment. And that's what we're asking to do, Judge. Let him stay on probation, get to ISF, get all that behind him, and start a fresh life in Midland.
Thank you, Mr. Rojas. Mr. Nichols?
Your Honor, I think unleashing Mr.
Let's break down ISF, short for Intermediate Sanctioned Facility. It's basically a hybrid between a boot camp and a rehab center, meant for people on probation. The defense argues that Wells never got this final opportunity because the system failed him. But the real question is, will the court buy that argument?
Justice and disservice to those people. Judge, he is on probation for 2 counts of aggravated assault for ramming an ex-girlfriend and her then boyfriend with his vehicle. And I want to draw the court's attention to the original PSI, where the complainant witness in that case, and her version of events states not just about him ramming their car, but that the day this happened, she had broken off their relationship, and that the day this happened, she began receiving several phone calls from Wells, causing her to block his number. After blocking his number, she began to receive calls from an anonymous number that she refused to answer. That's his pattern. That's what he does, Judge. He knows it's harder to track if you're using some sort of masking or call blocking app to harass these women. But more importantly, this is just what he does, Judge. He has a misdemeanor family violence assault for which he was revoked in 2000. Convicted date's 2011, revoked in 2013 from that. It has to end at some point, Judge, and I urge the court to exercise the full 20 years in these cases. These things only escalate. And he went over to these people's house, dressed in all black at 2 a.m. to confront them after repeated calls to her. That's scary. I don't like she's not here, Judge, but we know why she's not here. She's scared of this man. And I'm asking the court to put a stop to this. Right.
Thank you, Mr. Nichols. Mr. Wells, do you have anything to say? Stand up and speak loudly and clearly so I can hear you as well as the court reporter.
Yes, ma'am. She's not scared of me. She manipulated herself, so it ain't nothing about nobody scared of me. And I'm trying to start off, because I got kids, like my daughter, she's 16, she about to graduate in 2 years, and I'm just trying to get out, do whatever the little ISF program to try to better myself and control my temper, work on myself, and try to do, like I said, if I get to go get this job for you, and I can, get away from the, people, that I've been hanging around, and, better myself.
So you've been hanging around the wrong people?
Hanging around like just me, like people I do hanging around. I ain't gonna say they influence you, but it's like
you don't think maybe you're the wrong person?
I do have my fault.
You can have a seat. So, Mr. Wells, when you were here before and I got that pre-sentence report done, they talked to you before that pre-sentence report, and I have a quote here that you said, and this is back when you first got these probations, which was in 2019, you said, I will do good because I do not want to be in any more trouble. I'm trying to be a better father figure and role model for my kids. What if someone was doing what you've done to the women in your life to your 16-year-old daughter? I'm sorry?
I would be upset.
You'd be upset? You'd probably be more than upset. If somebody rammed their car into her car, somebody showed up at their house, her house, at 2 o'clock in the morning, you'd be more than upset. The problem is your behavior is escalating. It's not getting better. It's actually getting worse. And it's not because we didn't send you to ISF. And you want to talk about, I'm going to go to this little ISF program. It's not a little program. It's something that's really meant to help people. And that's not something that, based on your history, you deserve. I have your jail incident reports. Just in March, in 1 month, you've got 5. You can't even follow the rules when you're in jail, much less when you're on probation. Calling people who are just there doing their job